And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, the #1 review of the week by Adrian.
Minority Report.
Now can you describe to us what the movie is about?
Sure. It's basically about a facility where they keep these people called precogs. They're like psychic human beings who have been tested for drugs for a product, and basically it failed. Much like the birth control pill, which was supposed to be used back in the days, and they didn't succeed, so they started using it for drugs or something like that.
Imagine a world without murder.
I lost my best friend.
I lost my aunt.
I lost my dad.
I lost my father.
I lost my wife.
Just 6 years ago, the homicide rate in this country had reached epidemic proportions. It seemed that only a miracle could stop the bloodshed. But instead of one miracle, we were given 3, the precognitives. Within just 1 month under the pre-crime program, the murder rate in the District of Columbia was reduced 90%.
They were going to be waiting for me in the car.
He was gonna rape me.
I was going to be stabbed.
Right here.
Within a year, pre-crime effectively stopped murder in our nation's capital.
In the 6 years we've been conducting our little experiment, there hasn't been a single murder.
Yeah, technology certainly plays, a big role in this movie. Do you think this technology is feasible, in this world in the near future? Do you think it's possible to have this kind of?
Of course, it's so long as it's scientifically proven and logical. I believe that there is a way. It's just a matter of time until we get there.
Yeah, the security aspect of this movie was just amazing. They have a thermal, and they have eye sensory, and they have all sorts of
for
stuff.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I think that's really amazing.
Forget your troubles. What's wrong?
And my next question is, who was the main character in the movie, and what is his impact towards the plot?
The main character is John Anderton, and he's played by Tom Cruise. His main role is he's the head chief of pre-crime organization. So he gets the premeditated murders, and he obtains the files. He opens it up on a big screen, digitally. Looks at it and rewinds it, looks for hints on whereas the crime takes place and how much time, those kind of aspects.
Right.
Anderson, wait!
Goodbye, Crow.
Wait! Anderson, wait! Anderson, wait!
The problem is, though, he is framed by a man who believes that pre-crime is false.
Right, and Colin Farrell plays that role, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And and the whole idea behind this movie is really good. I think security also plays a big part of this movie. And do you see that kind of security being implemented in in society in general? Do you think airports pretty soon will have that kind of security? Do you think any part of this world will have that kind of security available to us, or do you think it will take some time?
The truth is that they already have that sort of security. It's just not out there. It's like mostly hidden to us.
Right, like the eye sensory, right? And
Yeah, but I don't believe that they will actually tell us about it. Even if they do invent that kind of security, I believe this is up to the government to decide.
to implement, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think there were any flaws with the pre-crime system?
With the pre-crime systems, yes. The only flaw was that usually when the precogs, they have certain visions of really bad crimes. Often what would happen is they'd have them twice. And usually that'd be a false idea, and it has to
like
be
deja
discarded.
vu.
Yeah, deja vu. And usually that would be discarded because it'd be just useless,
Right.
and take up space. The problem with that is that if the crime was created in the exact same fashion, the exact same way, but it's a totally different crime, then people can get away with murder.
Oh, so that's, yeah, so certainly, yeah, it's pretty flawed then. I mean, and that's exactly how John gets, framed, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah. Thank you for your time. Well, good night, everyone.